What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this episode is gonna be something I've been teetering on for the last year, not teetering should I say, but mentioning in videos. And it's working on this 1971 C30. Done a good bit of work off camera, just trying to get this project going, wrapped up, out of the shop, because it's not a full-on build, guys. This thing is, I bought it to have around the farm. That way I can either haul stuff to the dump or do whatever I need to do with a dump truck, you know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna go through and make this thing super nice. We're trying to get it where it's running and driving and stopping good, great, possibly even. So that's what the plan is for this truck. We are gonna do a slight paint job. It's not gonna be anything crazy, but the current one that's on it's a bit rough. So I don't mind the patina on it, it's just not exactly what I'm looking for. So we're gonna scuff it down and probably go with a faux patina, if you will, just mainly because this is the factory fender. But this truck, when I got it, and I'll probably drop a picture somewhere in here. It had a smashed driver fender, a smashed, I forgot the word, a smashed hood, and some damage to the cab that we're gonna start working on, or have been working on, but we're gonna finish working on it. So just to get this thing all in one color, we're gonna do a rattle can paint job, make it look halfway decent, and kick it down the road. But I think that's gonna be in another video. This one, we are going to get into this mess. Because, yeah. Went to go replace the brake calipers, and whoever touched that driver's side spindle completely trashed the bolts for the calipers. So we had to snatch that out of there. So for anybody wondering, if you have a I think it was 69 to 71, 72, 73 was the body change. You can, without anything other than a new spindle hub, and I think actually the brake rotors themselves are the same. I haven't verified the part numbers just yet, but they look suspiciously close. But with a new spindle and a new caliper, you can bolt this right in to a 1971, the 73 to 87 brakes. They are different brakes, they're a wedge style brake, but the spindles bolt right up. They use the same ball joints, same tie rod ends, same everything. So it's literally a bolt in. So if you have one of these trucks and you're mad because you can't find a spindle, or you can't find the dually brake rotors, that might be an option for you. I could find a spindle for this truck, but it was almost 4 hours north. And these 73 to 87 rotors were right here in town at a local junkyard. So it made more sense to go that way. But all right, guys, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna slap some ball joints into this thing. Try to get the spindles put back on. We've got a new radiator for this thing as well, because this one's full of friggin' holes. But let's get at it. All right, that one's neatly tucked in there. We're sitting back on the frame. We just gotta do an upper ball joint on this side and drop a spindle in. Hopefully that's all we have to do. So I've got to go into the parts store here shortly and get a new brake caliper, because I'm not going to run one that I pulled out of the junkyard. It's just that's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it, right? But you don't necessarily have to do it here. Not on this one. These tops are just, they're bolt in, so it does not take all that effort as the lower ones do. All right, now that we got both our ball joints in, we got our new rubber brake line installed and tightened down. It's time to slap this ginormous freaking hub on here, guys. This thing weighs like 85 pounds at least, if not 100. It is ridiculous. So we're gonna get this slapped in and get everything buttoned up on this side, hopefully. All right, guys, we got back from the parts store. I had to run back to the parts store because they gave us some wrong parts, but Chase is here. He's helping out on some of this stuff. It's about to be a two-man job. While I ran back to the parts store, he finished up the rear end and getting that rear brake line all tidied up. We had to move a couple of things. If you guys can see there, we had to move that where that gobbly, ugly looking paint is. That bracket used to be where that hole's at. We had to move it up because that hard line that comes into that soft line was not coming out. So we had to cut it, reflare it, rebend everything. But the back end is tidied up. We're gonna jump over and show you guys how some wedge brakes go on. And then we're on to the bleeding process. All right, so these wedge brakes, they don't actually use 2 bolts. Bolt your caliper on. It's actually this wedge right here, and this slides into here, and once you get it all the way in there, it'll sit down right in the center, and you run a Allen key head down tight. So that goes in just like that, and then you take your hammer and that's it, just like that. And you run your Allen key head in. Definitely a different type of brake. Not one that I had ran across before this truck, that is for sure. But that's the whole process right there. It is actually super easy once you figure it out, and if you can keep it in your brain. I can't seem to keep this in my brain of how this works. But easy and simple design. So we're gonna throw this brake line on and then move over to the other side, and we're gonna get to bleeding some brakes.
Oh, dude, that's interesting.
What's that?
Never thought about this, but in the roof of the cab here, it's not the bolt holes for the marker light. It's a dual metal.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was seeing that. I think when we first brought it into the shop, I was like, well, that's gonna be interesting to change those cab lights out. I hope nothing's bad up there. If not, something's getting rib nutted. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'm all the way to the floor.
Well, the good news is I got some air out of that.
Okay. That was stiffer.
Got some more air. Yeah, definitely.
Let me do one more pump.
What's that?
Let me do one more pump.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, should be good. Yep. Oh yeah, the brakes are already working nice. Cause it locked that hub up pretty good. Move to the driver's side. Oh, and just so you guys know, in case you're wondering here, When you're bleeding brakes, you always start furthest away from the master cylinder and work your way forward. So it's always passenger rear, driver rear, and then passenger front, and then driver front. So that's what we're doing right now. We just wrapped up with the first round on the passenger rear. So we're gonna move over to the driver rear.
I agree with your statement, but I think technically speaking,
That I'm right? You would be correct.
that the back left is actually a longer line. This is where it tees off, it jumps over.
Maybe.
Semantics really, but
Yeah.
just a thought.
It is. Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, 100% I agree with you 99% of the time, but this one seems a little different.
Yeah, I guess it is different.
But if you're doing them all anyway, especially both backs, and you're pushing that fluid through and you're getting all the air out, then
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. We probably should have started with this one because the way that it runs on this truck, I didn't even think about that.
right. I mean, but is it? We can do that next go around.
Yeah, we'll do it next go round, but
But it is a little bit longer technically.
it is a valid point. I didn't even think about that.
It just
Because normally the brake lines,
right.
they run down the driver frame rail.
100% with you.
So this truck is unique in that aspect of things. Not something I thought about.
Right. Just popped in my brain hole.
Yeah, no, you're 100%
Black
correct. You ready?
Yep.
And on to the passenger front we go. Watch out, rooster dog. All right. Does so good, then it goes. All right. Oh yeah, that was a good one. I like that. We'll leave that alone. And we'll move to the other side. Woo. There's nothing but air. Go ahead. Yep, a little fluid on that one. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All right. No, we're good. All right, guys. So we've got the new brakes put on. Everything's bled. Tires are put on. We got a new fancy aluminum radiator installed. I didn't show that. It was super easy. It was a direct replacement, so we didn't need to fab anything up. It's pretty slick. If you guys are looking for a radiator for a C10 to a C30, this thing was like 115 bucks on eBay. Probably the best bang for your buck so far. Let's hope that it handles out. But I think it's time to take this thing for a drive around the yard and see how it behaves, see how it brakes. Before we do, we're gonna open the shop door up all the way so I don't mangle another one. Let's get at it. All right, let's see how she cranks up. I haven't ran her in a couple of days, so. No, anticlimactic. Oh, hold up. Well, that's new. It's a gasket though.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want to tell them about it?
I can, yeah. It's nothing more than that coupler. I already knew that it was loose, and I think we finally just blew it out. But there's a Y coupler that comes off the ram's horn header here, right down in here, and you can see it. It was just fluttering in the wind there. But yeah, oh yeah, that's brake fluid. We spilled some brake fluid over there, but it's all good. Other than that, I love the way she stops now, that's for sure. I think we still got some figuring out to do on the yeah, the way it runs. It's not quite as, I thought we had it dialed in, but I don't think it's quite there. I think we still need to play with it a little bit more. We also lost our 710 cap. That's probably out in the yard somewhere. Probably need a new one. But guys, I think we're gonna wrap this video up. We've got somewhere to be. And I think when we come back, we're gonna see if we can't fix that door, finish fixing that, and we'll go from there. I don't know, that might be a whole video on its own. If it's not, then we'll show painting. If it is, then we'll just show that, and then we'll throw painting in another video. But if you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button for me, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.